Welcome back to Wonders of the Unknown. Today, we're bringing you a gripping tale of survival, unity, and the power of human resilience. Join us as we follow a group of tourists on their journey to a luxurious space hotel, only to find themselves trapped in a life-or-death situation. Will they be able to overcome the deadly obstacles in their way, or will their fears and prejudices tear them apart? Stay tuned to find out. And if you haven't already, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more thrilling stories from the unknown. The year was 2135, and space tourism had reached new heights. An ambitious company, Celestial Escapes, had just completed construction on the luxurious space hotel, the Andromeda Retreat. To celebrate its grand opening, a group of 10 lucky tourists had won the opportunity to be among the first to experience the marvels of this cutting-edge hotel. As the tourists gathered at the launch site, they exchanged excited glances and chatted about the adventure that lay ahead. Among them were people from all walks of life: a retired teacher, a successful entrepreneur, a pair of honeymooners, and even a reclusive scientist. They marveled at the magnificent elevator, a sleek capsule connected to a miles-long tether extending from Earth to the space hotel. Upon boarding the capsule, they were greeted by the friendly AI attendant, Artemis, who guided them through safety protocols and explained the advanced technology that would propel them towards the stars. As the countdown began, anticipation filled the air. The capsule rumbled to life and began its ascent into the cosmos, leaving Earth's atmosphere behind. As they floated further away from Earth, the capsule's windows revealed a breathtaking view of the planet and the vastness of space. The tourists were in awe, snapping pictures and sharing stories of their lives back home. Little did they know, this once-in-a-lifetime journey would soon take a perilous turn. Several hours into their journey, as the tourists were enjoying the weightlessness of space and admiring the view, the unthinkable happened. There was a sudden jolt, and the capsule shuddered violently. Artemis, the AI attendant, announced that the elevator had suffered a catastrophic failure in its propulsion system. Panic set in as the tourists realized they were trapped in the capsule, suspended between Earth and the distant Andromeda Retreat. Artemis assured them that rescue efforts were underway, but it would take time for a team to reach them. The capsule was designed with emergency provisions, but they were only intended to last for a short period. As the days passed, the situation in the capsule grew increasingly dire. The once friendly conversations among the tourists turned into arguments fueled by fear and desperation. The honeymooners began to blame each other for their predicament, while the entrepreneur accused the retired teacher of jinxing the trip with her constant worrying. It wasn't long before their food and water supplies started to dwindle. Trust among the group eroded, and they began to hoard what little was left. It was clear that if they didn't find a way to work together, their chances of survival would continue to diminish. Realizing that the situation was spiraling out of control, the retired teacher took it upon herself to try and restore some semblance of order. She reminded everyone that they were all in the same predicament and that turning on each other would only make things worse. Reluctantly, the group agreed to set aside their differences and work together. They began rationing their remaining supplies and brainstorming ideas for how to signal for help or possibly repair the capsule. The entrepreneur, who had some experience with electronics, worked alongside the honeymooners to jury-rig a makeshift radio, while the teacher and the photographer tried to find a way to use the capsule's limited power supply more efficiently. Despite their efforts, the group's situation remained desperate, and morale was at an all-time low. But just when they had almost given up hope, they heard a faint transmission coming through the radio. A rescue team was on its way. The news energized the group, and they began working together more effectively than ever before, preparing for their impending rescue. As the hours passed, the anticipation of the rescue team's arrival grew. The group had already shared their stories, fears, and hopes, and had become more united than they could have imagined. The time they had spent together had changed them, and they knew that even after they were rescued, they would never be the same. Finally, the moment they had been waiting for arrived. The sound of the rescue vessel's engines grew louder, signaling that help was close. The group gathered around the makeshift radio, listening to the rescuers' instructions. They were told to prepare themselves for a possible impact, as the rescue team would need to use a specialized device to break through the elevator's damaged hull. They braced themselves, clutching each other tightly and offering words of encouragement. The sound of the approaching rescue team was like music to their ears, a symphony of salvation. The capsule shuddered as the device made contact with the hull, and the group held their breath, waiting for the final, liberating moment. But then, suddenly, an explosion rocked the elevator car. The capsule was engulfed in a blinding flash of light, and everything went dark. As the blinding light faded, the group found themselves disoriented and confused. The explosion had thrown them around the interior of the elevator car, leaving some injured and others unconscious. Panic set in as they tried to assess the situation and understand what had just happened. The radio crackled to life, and the voice of the rescue team commander came through, clearly shaken. He informed them that the explosion had been caused by an unforeseen malfunction in the rescue device, and that the rescue team was now in a critical state. The group was devastated, realizing that their chances of rescue had just plummeted. Despite the seemingly insurmountable odds, the group refused to give up. They pooled their knowledge and resources, determined to find a way to survive and escape the elevator car. They worked tirelessly, improvising solutions and devising strategies, each person drawing on their unique skills and expertise. Just as they began to lose hope, one of the tourists discovered an encrypted message hidden within the elevator's control panel. The message hinted at a secret escape route designed for emergency situations. With renewed determination, the group focused their efforts on deciphering the message and uncovering the hidden path to freedom. As the group stood on the edge of a breakthrough, the encrypted message slowly revealing itself, they knew that their fate was uncertain. Would they successfully decipher the message and escape their dire situation, or would they ultimately succumb to their perilous circumstances? And that brings us to the end of today's harrowing story. What do you think will happen to our group of survivors? Did they successfully decipher the message and escape their dire situation, or did they ultimately succumb to their perilous circumstances? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments section below. As always, thank you for joining us on Wonders of the Unknown. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more tales of the unknown. Until next time, keep exploring the mysteries of the universe.